there is a stash here not far away. Let me just mark where exactly it is. It is more in this direction. Okay. And I believe this is right around where the main quest is trying to take us, but despite that being tempting here, I think there are still many things that we're looking to do here first. There's lots of odds and ends to address before we start going to care more. Now, there's a chance that when we do that, we can turn around, come back here or wherever, whenever we want. But I'm guessing that, or at least at the very least, I'd probably prefer that when we do end up going to Kaer Morhen, that for a little while we're focusing on Kaer Morhen. It would feel a little bit strange to go there, check it out, and then almost immediately after turn around and head back to somewhere we've already been. I feel like we want to give ourselves some time to fully experience it, or at least get a good sense of what the experience is all about, and commit ourselves to it. For the most part, at least. Okay, so yes, we did in fact stockpile some shirts for this very reason, like I said. Let's pick those up. And then while we're here, let's dump our swords, the ones that are too high a level for us. So that means you guys, everyone with an X, basically. And then... okay. Maybe we just ran out of money and couldn't actually sell some of these other weapons that are still hanging around. Crossbows, how close are we? Level 29 and level 29. Okay, so we're kind of close. Part of me feels like we should just hold on to those. But, okay. We also have just some random crafting stuff in here we could break down. At some point, some old trophies as well that we could just sell. Or I've actually never tried breaking down a trophy. I don't think. I assume you can. But, I don't know what they give you, if anything. Okay, and we do actually have some old relic swords that we could either sell or break down into components, which is a little bit interesting. Because they're old, yes, but they are still worth a fair bit. And they might have some decent stuff that they can turn into. Like, this is worth a decent amount right here. Yeah. I think it's, at the very least, worth giving that a look. Let's do that, at least for the stuff that is low enough level that presumably we're never going to go back to it. You know, the items that have 100 less damage than our current weapons, probably pretty safe to say we're not going to use those. I think that's a pretty safe bet. And then, I mean, I was deliberately holding on to the blunt sword in case there was ever a reason to need that going forward. But let's stash it, because that's a better place to put that stuff. And then maybe we also put the fancy-pantsy shoes in there as well. Similar story. Anything else while we're here that we feel like we ought to stash? I mean, we could potentially stash other Witcher School swords, but I do kind of like having the ability to adapt to the situation here. So we can, you know, if we want to go with the Sign Intensity, we can go with the Griffin sword. If we want to, we have Enhance and we have Superior. Okay, so we don't need Enhance in that case. I think that was one of the ones that we might have accidentally made an extra pair of. Yeah. So Griffin. Oh, Griffin Superior, Griffin also Superior. Oh, Silver and Steel probably. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this allows us to switch around as we see fit. And we still have lots of stuff to sell, of course. So don't you worry about that. And we could even... yep, sell you. And you. And random Novigrad longswords. Wow, when did we pick these up? What are the Flaming Rose? Oh, are these from the Fallen Knights that we fought north of Novigrad? Because they require level 35. That's pretty crazy. That is interesting, though. Okay. I think this is probably good enough for now. I mean, we could, of course, also pick up the miscellaneous crafting materials, but maybe that's for another time. Or at least once we're done, at the very least, once we're done focusing on all the weapons and armor.
You're a man well traveled.
So I want to focus on that for now.
Beat me wench once a week.
So, let's head back over to Yuana, and apparently light that torch, because why not? And we'll look to upgrade, or at least create, other chest plates. I don't think we'll be able to upgrade this Cat School chest plate anymore without it getting too high level for us. Because it was, I think, only like 3 levels below our level as it currently stands. So, probably can't get any better than this for now, at least in this regard. But, like I was saying, I think Griffin School in particular stands out to me as an interesting alternative that we might want to switch to if ever we want ourselves to be more sign-oriented. Go with a magic build instead. Probably been there. Then Wolf School, I think I did catch. No, I always accidentally click on this guy.
Here to order another.
I actually don't want to talk to you.
So long.
But yeah, so Wolf School, I forget what the special thing is about it. I think it's kind of like a all-rounded kind of stuff, wasn't it?
Need some armor made. Witcher's armor.
That is true. But let's go back to the chest plates. So I want... So we just made Enhanced Feline. Not even sure we have the next round of... Oh, we do. We do have Master... Is Mastercrafted next? No, Superior would be next. Have Superior Feline. Superior Griffin, Ursine, Normal Ursine. Don't seem to have Superior Feline. There are, I think, several of the Witcher School diagram treasure hunts in Velen that were too high a level for us when we were last in Velen, but now that we've, of course, gone and more or less completed Skellige, that might be something that could be not so far away on our agenda. So we might be able to pick up the next round of Cat School stuff there. Like, Superior Griffin is 26, which is possible. So if it was around that same level for Superior Cat School, then we could swap over to that right around now, but Ursine obviously is a little bit out of our league right now. I'm guessing Cat School might be right in between. It might be 28. But I think let's make the normal Griffin School stuff. Yeah, it does seem like Griffin is pretty consistently a little bit lower level than Feline, and then it seems like pretty consistently it might be that Bear School is the highest. So let's see. Yeah, now we have our shirts, so this is doable. And yeah, Sign Intensity is the name of the game for this. Let's try it. Because this is, at least as of right now, I think the second most intriguing of the armors for me. And for this we need Enhanced Griffin first, which if this is alphabetical, and I think it is, means that'll be higher up. Enhanced Griffin, okay, we can still pull it off. Nothing to be terribly concerned about ingredients-wise. And yep, further increases Sign Intensity and other armor and resistances and whatnot. Okay, now can we go to the Superior? We are missing Dimeridium Plate, which we have not ever gotten. I think we can create that, though, because we have a lot of Dimeridium. And I think that'll be crafting material. Where's that? Crafting component? Dimeridium, was it plate? I think basically the Dimeridium version of this. Yeah, we have ingots. What's the difference between these? Oh, you can either go pure ore, or 50-50 ore and glowing ore ingot. Interesting. I think glowing ore is far less common, given how you can see here we have 6 times more Dimeridium than we have glowing ore. Probably would prefer to go this route, but we'll see. Don't have to do that yet. This is what we're looking for at the moment. And yeah, we have a ton of ingots. This is one of those things that mostly when we've had extra money, we focused on buying Meteorite, but we have done a bit of Dimeridium as well, I think. And I think we needed, what, 2 of these? I do anticipate that we'll probably need a little bit more, and we can make glowing ore ingots as well with glowing ore, and we do have some of that, so we could even make more glowing ore that way as well. So that's encouraging if we do need it. Let's make a little bit more of this, so I do expect we'll need a fair bit. That should do the trick, at least for now, I think. Now let's head back up. And focus on doing this. Yep. Give us a little bit of Dimeridium plate to spare. Monster hide, no problem. Monster heart. Pure Draconid leather is a little bit scarce, but at least for now, we're good. And this, I believe, would now become the highest level Witcher School chestplate that we could use at the moment. So, from a pure defensive standpoint, could make the case that it is a little bit better than the Feline School stuff. In fact, our Feline School, didn't we say we were able to get enhanced, but we did not yet have the superior recipe yet? So that, again, at least temporarily, may mean that it is actually a little bit preferable to throw on the Griffin Armor for the time being, at least until we find and make the superior Cat School gear. And if we like it, maybe we stick with Griffin stuff. I don't know. I'm curious to mess around with it a little bit because we've been using the Cat School stuff for so long that it'd be nice to experiment a bit at this stage, I think. But that is the Griffin Armor, at least as much Griffin Armor as we can make right now on the chestplate spot. And we could make the base for the Ursine School and possibly even Wolf. Let's actually go down real quick, see if we have Wolf, because I want to give that a closer look if we do. No, we don't. But I think that that's probably something we'll start to see a lot more of once we get to Kaer Morhen, because that is, of course, the school of the Wolf School. And so I think I vaguely remember that, not so coincidentally, that is where you find most of the crafting recipes for the Wolf School gear. Okay, then I think trousers may be our next priority. So we can get enhanced feline trousers, which I believe is basically just an enhanced version of what we're currently wearing. And all ingredients look fine here. Just gives us marginally more attack power. I mean, 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but that does actually, when you have several hundred base damage, it does mean something. And then higher base armor and resistances. So, we'll take it. What level was it? It requires level 23. We're level 27, so it's a decent fit at the moment. Looks like Bear School Trousers would actually be the best fit level-wise right now. But I think, again, I kind of want to try going... Yeah, we've Mastercrafted Feline, but that's 34, so we're definitely nowhere near that. But do we have Superior? We don't. Not at the moment. Okay. So I think, again, though, I'm gonna do the Griffin School as our alternative, because those, I think, will be the most interesting ones to switch back and forth between, unless and until we find Wolf School and we can see, do we like that more, or we'll see what the actual bonus is for that. So that being said, let's make the base Griffin Trousers. Yeah. Nothing too concerning there. A little bit of, what is this, Meteorite? Yeah, but like I said, we've picked up a lot of that, so, and it is very purchasable for many people. So there's that one, and then that means we should be able to now get, not superior, but enhanced on that stuff. Enhanced Griffin, which is level 20, or 18, not 28. Or 28 would be close to having that be the perfect fit, but okay. So again, nothing too concerning here, ingredients-wise, and just gives a tiny bit more side intensity and better armor. Then when it comes to the superior, how did that line up level-wise? It's a pretty darn good fit. And then it starts to take Meteorite silver ingots, which I think we may have created these ourselves, or at least crafted them with a crafting person, because it's a little... I don't think we've ever gotten these to drop. Maybe very occasionally, but we have a lot of silver and we have a lot of meteorite, so it is something that we can buy more of the base ingredients and then force it into a meteorite silver ingot if we need to. We'll make this, and again, it's a little bit more of a significant side intensity upgrade. I think it goes from 6 to 8, so it's a 2% increase rather than the 1% increase we saw with our previous upgrade, so I like that. And now there's no way that Mastercrafted Griffin is going to be usable. No, that's level 34. Understandable. Okay. And I think, so yeah, we could go with Ursine adrenaline points appears to be the special thing here. Is that also the case on the chest plates? Maybe we'll take a quick look at that. Because cat school, generally speaking, the idea is not cat damage, attack damage. And the Griffin School is sign intensity. Is Ursine always adrenaline points? It seems like it. Yeah, and it's heavy armor, so it has the highest base defenses. Oh, here's a woven armor. Possibly our only one thus far that we've seen. It's adrenaline points. Huh. It is adrenaline points. Interesting. I wonder if, because at least with the swords, we did see that the woven armor was sort of the middle ground. I wonder if maybe the woven chestplate is going to be adrenaline points like the bear school stuff. Maybe the trousers are going to be attack damage like the cat school stuff. Maybe the boots are going to be sign intensity like the Griffin School gear. Maybe that'll be the way that it kind of creates or makes that middle ground. But we'll see. So that leaves us with gauntlets and boots at this stage. And Assassin's Gauntlets have been some of the gauntlets that we've liked to use because they do have the critical hit chance. But these are just level 12, so there have definitely been ones we found in the wild that have been better than that. In fact, I think we are wearing some. Possibly these exact gauntlets, just higher level. So, yeah, definitely no need for those. Okay. And we do have some Feline gloves, which I don't think we ever created. Don't think we did. I think we always just stuck with our relic rarity gloves. Mostly the Assassin's gloves. But let's just see if we can even make a superior enhanced version. I don't think we can. So I think that means we are going with this. The normal version, which, yes, gives attack power, as one might expect out of cat school stuff. And then I'm already forgetting. Is it enhanced that comes next, or is it superior? It is enhanced. Okay, so we do have this recipe. And I wasn't even looking at the ingredients for the previous one, but it doesn't look bad. More attack damage, better armor, sense. Go for it. Okay. Then what now? Can we go up to superior? Do we even have superior? Doesn't look like we do. Unless it's hiding here, it's not. Okay. And I didn't remember, what was the level on the enhanced? It was 23, which is slightly low for us, but potentially still worth throwing on. We'll have to see how this compares to what we have from a relic love standpoint. We can see that I believe this comparison is up to date here, so we'll give us more attack power, slightly less armor, similar resistances, some will be lower, some will be higher, but we'll lose the crit chance, and so it'll be a question of, do we prefer the base attack power, or do we rather have the critical hit chance? And that's a tough question, so we'll have to think about that one. But then if we go the Griffin route for our alternative here, this looks fine. Go for that, and yep, sign intensity again. Understandable. Now we can make enhanced. Also, ingredients look fine. Let's do it. And then we might even be able to wear, yeah, the superior ones. This is level 26. That's a good fit. More sign intensity, and at this rate would be an actual armor upgrade. It does require, what is this? Meteorite silver plate, which is, that's pretty big. But I think, you know, as we're starting to get to the superior gear, we're high enough up on the list now that understandable that you're starting to throw in some big crafting materials. So I think we leave it at that. We're not going to go with the bear school, I don't think, because that's heavy armor. And we have a little bit of woven stuff just to get a little peek. Yeah, and this is sign intensity. So I think that's what we're going to find, is that in this case, the gloves are going to be sign intensity like the Griffin School. Chestplate is adrenaline gain like the Bear School, and then either trousers or boots are going to be attack damage like Cat School. That's what I think is going to be the case with the Wolf School. So it does give you a little bit of flexibility in that case, so you can deliberately Go a little bit of Wolf School and a little bit of whatever else you like, but it does mean you're potentially sacrificing that set bonus from wearing a bunch of the same type of thing, but we're not there yet. Now we're on to boots, and this is another one that we actually... That's interesting. This is a relic pair of boots that whenever we have found it, we have oftentimes gone with it. It is medium, but it does give us the armor piercing, which is the reason why we focused on it for the most part. Oh no, it doesn't give us armor piercing. Our existing boots give us armor piercing. Huh. Gives us additional gold. It's not what I remembered. Maybe there's a pair of gloves that has the same name as well, and that gives us armor piercing? Because I remember there is a pair of armor piercing boots. We're using them right now. Just don't remember what the name of them is. I thought it was this. But, as for the Witcher School gear, we will, of course, look to go with the Feline and probably Griffin as well. And it'll, again, be attack damage. And this is one where I thought we may have made the base one. Let's just see if we have the ingredients to make the upgraded version. I'm not seeing it. In fact, I'm not even seeing the recipe for it at all. So, or well, no, is it enhanced? It's enhanced, isn't it? Yeah, and we don't have the base, so we'll make it here. Feline boots. Enhanced feline boots. Still, ingredients look fine. More attack damage. And now, do we have the superior? Seemingly not, at least not for Cat School. So in that case, let's go Griffin this time. And I think, despite us only having 9 monster essence, I think that's something that you just break down from many of the monster drops, and it's super easy to get. Just a matter of breaking things down into components when we might not have done a ton of that yet. But if we need to, we can. So there's base Griffin. Let's go enhanced Griffin. Same idea here. And then if we have the superior Griffin, which we do, this will be a good level for us. Meteorite Silver Ingot, again, is a little bit on the expensive side, but we can make more of them fairly easily if we have to. So I think now we have basically the fullest set that we can currently make / equip, at the very least, when it comes to both Feline and Griffin School. So we now have the option of switching over from one set to the other whenever we feel like going either the sign route or the attack damage route, which I think is a good mixture to have, because that is a pretty different setup. Do you focus on the magic? Do you focus on the directly dealing damage with your sword? And level-wise, there is a bit of a difference as well, as we were seeing. The Cat School gear is a little bit higher level than the Griffin School gear, so that means we might be able to go 1 tier higher on Griffin than we can on Cat, depending on how exactly we line up. So we'll give it a closer look. In fact, why don't we do that now before we ask about our armor? So, let's check. What do we want to actually roll with now? I'm also curious to see just what the Griffin School gear looks like. I think I do like the looks of it more. Like I said, I mean, even with the sleeves, I'm still not a huge fan of how the Cat School gear works. Or looks, I should say. I very much did not like it in the original version. It's a little bit better with the sleeves, but I still think there's a lot of room for improvement, so still do like the Griffin School a little bit better. Maybe even more than a little bit better. But that's not as important as the stats. So if we do this comparison here, let's see, we have the Feline School armor equipped right now. And yes, so this is Tier 2 Cat School versus Tier 3 Griffin School. And so that does mean that the Griffin School does statistically look a little bit better for the time being. Perhaps reason enough to try that out. Like I said, I mean, we've been using Cat School for so long. Maybe it's time to just mix things up a little bit and see if we like it. And if we don't, then we can swap back. It's easy enough to make that happen. Griffin School Trousers, we can go for the full set. Man, we got the, like, off-green aesthetic. We look like we're going to be camo. Okay. Yeah. I think I like that. And then let's stash the Feline School stuff that we have remaining here. And because I'm wary of us accidentally vendoring it. And once we do that, then we'll go back to Joanna, and with all the money we gave her, we're going to take that back when we sell her all these bazillion things. So, like I said, we were going to spend a lot, and we did. But in doing so, it does allow us to trade a lot more to her, because otherwise she would have gone broke long before we were able to give her much of any of what we had. And the other thing that I'm interested to test out is not only how do we like the sign intensity improvements on this gear, but how do we feel when it comes to using the medium armor relative to the light armor that we've been using most of the time. Also, where exactly is the stash? I'm at in the general direction, but up here. Sounds like she's ready now. Also, does sound like these guys are taking it a little too seriously, beating each other up. Does it say he's ready now? I didn't actually expect for it to tell us collect your armor. Okay, that is nice. Yeah, it'll be good timing. We'll just drop off the other stuff that she made for us, and then we'll create, or we'll pick up whatever her armor was. I mean, I'm assuming she doesn't give us Witcher School gear, because it was Relic Rarity Sword when IBR gave us a reward for completing of Swords and Dumplings. When we dared to dumpling. So I don't think it's gonna be anything good enough for us to actually use here. Let's stash you. And our other Witcher School stuff got buried, it seems. Here. Here. And here, and for now at least, we can probably also stash our shirts in case we need those for future crafting efforts. And the Assassin's Gauntlets, we were using them previously. Like I said, they were a pretty good fit for us from a relic item standpoint because they did give us the crit chance. And that was quite nice when we're focusing on the crit. So in some ways, I do want to hold on to one of them. Maybe we'll stash the higher level one and we'll sell this one here. And you did have the same name as the other ones that we saw. Just for some reason, you have armor piercing. The ones that we were crafting with Joanna had gold and not armor piercing, which was strange. But okay, just level 23 compared to the level 26. Was it gloves here that we just stashed? Yeah. So I think these are probably a little bit more replaceable for that reason, and we can justify just sticking around with either of the two Witcher School boots that we just created. We'll probably vendor that as well, and then everything else on the armor side is almost certainly going to get traded. And then on the weapons, we did unstash various swords. So, should be able to sell those too. So yeah, we have... no, Carol, no. We have a lot of things. A lot of things to sell to Joanna. I don't think she's going to be able to afford all of them. And we did give her a lot of money. But I don't quite think we're going to be able to give her all this stuff here. It is potentially worth double-checking at least on some of the things as to whether it is worth breaking them down into components, but I think we did that for the most part when we were with IBR earlier.
Could use some hair of the hound.
So I think we'll probably just go straight into selling basically all of it. Oh, the one exception being the swords that we picked up from our stash. The armor we have already checked. But the swords that we had stockpiled in our stash. Here we go, this direction. That stuff may give us some decent things if we break them down into components. So we'll check that out. Otherwise, we'll just sell them, and they're pretty valuable. So even that shouldn't be bad. Definitely shouldn't be bad. That was not intentional. Fortunately, none of the bazillion guards in here decided to draw a weapon on us for having done that.
Plowing hangover.
Apparently, they don't care that we are throwing
Geralt,
punches at ghosts.
Good of you to come by. What can I do for you?
Okay, so this time around, we did hear that you actually do have your armor ready.
My armor coming along all right?
It's ready. I've reinforced the joints and bathed it in acid, as my clan's tradition demands.
Thanks.
Okay.
How much do I owe you?
Oh, please. I'd not be here if it weren't for you. It's a gift, in thanks for what you did.
Oh,
Take it,
thank you.
and may it serve you well.
Thanks. And you take care.
Okay. Witch Hunter's Armor. In fact, I'm pretty sure we do have that. Curious what level it is in comparison to the Witch Hunter's Armor that is perhaps right next to it. Level 27 versus level 16. Okay, so it is, yes, the same thing as what we have. Actually, level 16 one is worth more than the level 27 one, just because I think it's randomly generated how much it's worth. It's based on the type of item and the rarity of it, not actually on the level. So, okay, sure. I mean, we're probably just going to turn around and sell both those things to you anyway. And let's make it happen.
Geralt, good of you to come by.
And complete.
What can I do for you?
Yay! We need to sell.
What are you selling? What's good?
Okay, so we need to dump. And we don't want to dump any of those swords. Let's focus on, or at least none of that Witcher swords. Let's focus on the armor for now. And then we may be able to sell, or we may end up selling all of this stuff and she'll still go broke. If not, then we'll start selling those relic swords, or at least look at either selling them or breaking them down. But let's lead off with the armor. And we shall see. This is the heaviest stuff that we have right now. So this will also benefit us in the way that we will perhaps at least get closer to not being encumbered. We do, of course, have the stash, so if we absolutely need to stash other things, then we can just dump them there. And okay, she's already broke. Already. And we are not even halfway-ish through our armor. I mean, we're leading off with our biggest hitters there. But that's why I was saying, don't be too worried about us spending a lot of money on the crafts, because we're going to get it back pretty quickly. Now, what we could do here is we could break down the swords to give her some more money, or we could buy other crafting materials from her to give her more money so we can sell more to her. Alternatively, now that basically means that, you know, we're getting more valuable things, yes, but in terms of cold hard cash, we aren't getting that much because we're spending more in order to get more stuff. So if we wanted to just have raw cash and we didn't feel like it was as important for us to pick up these valuable gems or things of that sort, then although that's quite cheap. That's, I'm pretty sure, less than what we've seen other people selling these items for. That does catch my attention a bit. Other things here as well? I don't know. Does make it a little bit tempting to try to buy some stuff off of you for that reason. Do you actually have anything else that... I see some things that are X'd out here, which does raise my eyebrow a bit, make me wonder if you have some good things for us to try to pick up. But yeah, I think let's start now by trying to break down some things into components, these swords, and see if any of these relic swords are worth doing that. And our rule of thumb is generally, if it is a full valuable gem of some variety, then it's worth it. If not, then we'll just sell it. And this one does give us rune stones because we threw some of those in, but the glowing ore ingot is tempting. And a full-blown ruby, okay, yeah, so I think that one is probably worth breaking down. It is also seemingly our most valuable of our swords, so would we rather have a ruby? Would we rather have a bunch of coins? It's a little bit tough to say. This one as well, and this one's not worth much, so that's definitely worth breaking down. So Carabella, let's do that. I think you are a very safe bet. That's going to be more beneficial to do that. I think likely same thing here. We get a full-blown amber out of you. Let's do that. And more glowing ore. That is very tempting. Yeah. If we can get that out of... That's actually worth a surprising amount, even if it's just magic rarity. I'm surprised, yeah. I'm gonna say, get good crafting material out of magic rarity item. It might not be worth much yet. Sounds good, but it's actually worth more than many of our relic rarity things. That does seem a little odd, but suppose even this as well, yeah. Interesting. How valuable was a ruby? Let's see. So if we were to say sell this stuff, we would get 227 versus breaking it down, we would get a free ruby in the process, which is worth 500. Okay, yeah, so it's worth breaking it down. Definitely worth breaking it down in that case. So let's dismantle both of these guys. Get the rubies, and then Diameridium and the glowing ore is also not bad, but the ruby I think is still definitely the highlight. And the other ones, I don't know how much the glowing ore ingot is actually worth. Don't think people sell that. Don't think they do. I think you need to craft it. So, and it is pretty rare, so it is a little bit tempting to make that happen. Let's see. If we go back to the shop real quick. How much do we sell these guys for? A little under 200 a piece. A little over, well, 350 in that case. That's interesting. I thought that where we were looking at the sell value on items, we were seeing that these guys, the magic items we were just talking about now, they were surprisingly valuable. And yet, when we look at them here, they're only 159, in this case, 77 coins that we sell them for. Whereas these guys, the relic birding ones, are a lot more. So, yeah, I think that number we were looking at on the previous page was misleading. Little misleading. Well, maybe we were comparing them to these guys, in which case, yeah, it is close. It's this one that's worth a lot, or at least comparatively more. But I think we've already broken down all the ones that give us full-blown valuable gems. It's just a matter of the glowing ore or not. So I think, I mean, it's safe to sell the little ones, right? These guys, they're worth just like 24, 25 a piece that are not rare at all. But I think maybe we do, let's just sell, well, no, let's break down into components because we are looking to give you on a little bit more money so we can turn around and sell more stuff. So at least if it's a tiebreaker, I think we should probably go for the breaking down into components. Let's do that. And this is the other one that was kind of valuable to sell, so maybe we opt to sell that one. But I think these other ones, we will in fact, well, these ones with the glowing ore. Ones with the glowing ore. Yeah, you. Break you down. Break you down. And you're just dark steel. Okay, that's not terribly interesting. So I think we'll sell the rest of them. You guys, you do give dust, but that's considerably less valuable than the full-blown gem. So I think now we just sell you. It doesn't mean we'll lose our lesser runestones. Oh no, lesser runestones. Do you see how many lesser runestones we have? Be fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we are done with the swords, and you have precisely 52 coins. Means we can sell just about nothing to you. And by just about nothing, I mean like maybe these pants, and that might be it. I think that's probably it. Okay. So now what we do is we either, I mean, we'd probably go and try to find someone else to sell a bunch of things to, because we still have 568 weight units of items right now. And they may not buy for quite as much as Joanna does, because I think the master crafts people do pay more for things than the generic
Take care now.
Crafts people. You know, like general shopkeepers, I think do pay the least, and then you're
It's everywhere.
quartermaster.
Fancy
Are
again, it's our
you?
little stockpile.
Oh no. Where do you fit on that spectrum?
Show me what you got.
How much do you pay for stuffs? Could have actually done a comparison since these guys are so close to one another. This guy and Joanna could have seen what difference, if any, there was between them. But at least you have 1,000 coins, which is saying something. Yeah, this was This was like 70 something at Ioana. It's only 48 here. It's like a, I don't know, it might be as much as a 50% difference. Wow. That is pretty significant. Especially when we're selling the quantity that we're selling right now. I mean, it's one thing if you're selling like 3 small items. If you're selling several inventories full of items, then, you know, it does pay to be a little bit more mindful of how you're doing it, right? So one thing that we tried to do with IBR when we were selling things to him earlier was we tried meditating for a while and seeing if he would then sort of restock, so to speak, and get his coins back. He didn't, but I do wonder if we meditate aggressively here, maybe even more aggressively than we did with IBR, might we be able to get Ioana to get back some of her coins? Because it does seem like that is the ideal solution. As for whether it's actually possible, then that's another thing altogether. So this is a nearly 24-hour meditation. So I don't think this is going to be enough. I think at the very least we're going to need to do one more of those, possibly even more, but this is partially a science experiment here. So in the name of science, do you have coins back? Not yet. Okay, that's, yeah, what we expected. I don't remember if we tried meditating twice to pass time with IBR, or if we only did it once, so this... Oh, hold on. There. This might be more time than we've waited ever before. To try to get someone to restock on monies.
Geralt, good of you to
If not, we
come
could
by.
give it
What
one
can I
more
do for
shot
you?
and see if that makes a difference, but I think
What are you saying?
after doing it 3 times, we
good?
could probably draw the line there and say that's enough. Yeah, so she hasn't restocked yet. Let's try one more time, because it is so quick, fortunately. So, I think that's one way we can see if it works. The other way is potentially to try fast traveling. Has, I think, at times perhaps done something similar. So, let's do this. And we're just going to check. We're just going to see if this works. Because if it does, then that is good to know. I mean, it's not the most convenient thing in the world doing it 3 times, but it's still, in the grand scheme of things, what takes like a little over a minute, so
good of you to come by.
not so
What
bad.
can I do for you?
Will you have monies?
What are you selling? What's
Please
good?
get rich. You are not rich, so you cannot make us rich. This is unfortunate. And we can actually let's confirm. What was your price for those boots you were talking about? It was 48 from the other guy, and it's 76 from you. So it's a pretty huge difference. So if we could, that'd be great. Tell you what,
Take care now.
we do have additional things to do in Novigrad. And I do think we're going to be hopping around a little bit from place to place for a little while here. So I think we might actually just go back to IBR here. Sell him stuff, because I think he's the other person who will spend the most. And complete a couple of quests that are in the Novigrad area. So I think, I mean, if we're trying to bide some time to get some money, then why not now?